The United States entered World War II on December 7, 1941, following the Japanese surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, a U.S. naval base in Hawaii. The assault killed over 2,400 Americans and destroyed much of the Pacific Fleet, thrusting a previously reluctant nation into the global conflict. President Franklin D. Roosevelt declared war on Japan the next day, and soon after, Germany and Italy, Japan's Axis allies, declared war on the U.S., pulling America into both the Pacific and European theaters. Initially, the U.S. faced setbacks. Japan swept through the Pacific, capturing territories like the Philippines, while Nazi Germany dominated Europe and North Africa. But America's entry shifted the war's momentum. With its vast industrial capacity, the U.S. transformed into the arsenal of democracy, producing ships, planes, tanks, and weapons at an unprecedented rate. By 1942, American forces began to turn the tide. In the Pacific, the Battle of Midway in June became a decisive victory, halting Japan's expansion and crippling its navy. In Europe, the U.S. joined the Allies in North Africa, helping defeat Germany's Afrika Korps by May 1943. The real game-changer came on June 6, 1944, D-Day. American, British, and Canadian troops stormed the beaches of Normandy, France, in the largest amphibious invasion in history. Led by General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Allies broke through Hitler's Atlantic Wall, liberating France and pushing into Germany. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, the U.S. island hopped toward Japan, reclaiming territories in brutal battles like Iwo Jima and Okinawa. The war in Europe ended on May 8, 1945, VE Day, after Germany's unconditional surrender following Hitler's suicide and the fall of Berlin to Soviet and Allied forces. In the Pacific, Japan fought on despite staggering losses. To avoid a costly invasion of the Japanese mainland, President Harry S. Truman authorized the use of atomic bombs. On August 6, 1945, Little Boy devastated Hiroshima, followed by Fat Man on Nagasaki 3 days later. Japan surrendered on August 15, 1945, VJ Day, formally signing the surrender on September 2 aboard the USS Missouri. The US, through its military might, industrial power, and strategic resolve, had turned the tide and brought the deadliest war in history to an end. And now the best of the story. Amid the grand narrative of battles and bombs, a lesser-known group played a pivotal role: the Richie Boys. These were young men, many of them Jewish refugees who had fled Nazi persecution in Europe, trained at Camp Ritchie, Maryland in military intelligence. Fluent in German, French, or other European languages, they brought an intimate understanding of the enemy's culture, mindset, and tactics. Numbering around 15,000, the Richie Boys were deployed primarily in Europe after D-Day as interrogators, translators, and psychological warfare specialists. Their impact was outsized. Richie Boys interrogated German prisoners, extracting critical intelligence about troop movements, defenses, and morale, information that shaped Allied strategies. One notable success was their role in cracking the German defenses along the Siegfried Line, where interrogations revealed weak points that Allied forces exploited. They also crafted propaganda, broadcasting demoralizing messages and dropping leaflets to erode German resolve. It's estimated that their work shortened the war in Europe by months, saving countless lives. Take Herbert Feinstein, for example, a Richie boy who fled Austria after the Nazi annexation. At Camp Ritchie, he mastered interrogation techniques, then landed in Normandy. His fluency in German and sharp intellect led to confessions from captured officers, pinpointing artillery positions that Allied bombers later destroyed. Another, Guy Stern, used his skills to impersonate a Soviet officer during interrogations, terrifying German prisoners into spilling secrets. These unsung heroes, driven by personal stakes and exceptional training, quietly amplified America's victory, proving that brains could be as mighty as bombs. And now you know the best of the story. Hello, Gabriel, Jasmine, Jack, Eleanor, Mateo, Mariana. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. It'll help our little channel grow. If you like and subscribe, we can give you a shout out too.